Am I in the frame?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
You see way too much of your crotch area.
Yeah, that was.
It was like focused in on your crotch and everything else is blurry.
How about now?
Yeah.
You're good.
All right. So, welcome back to the LSD Podcast. I am Luke.
Siggy.
Guard mouse.
Look at that. Look at that. For once we did it and it didn't, there wasn't a big pause.
Hey, listen. You're supposed to introduce us like the royalty we are. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But we decided to take it easy on you.
Good job, guys. Good job.
We're working on it.
All right. So
it's episode 4, right? I think we made it to 4. 5? No, wait. No, because the pilot was 1.
There's 3 on YouTube. Get to know your host and this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all right. We made it to 5. That's that you know what they say?
Milestone.
Like in restaurants, if you make it to 5 years, you're gonna be a successful restaurant. There's like a 90% chance. That means we're gonna be a successful podcast because we made it to 5 episodes.
I don't know if that translates.
No, I did the math. I did the
Where
math.
did you get that stat?
I don't know. I heard it somewhere. Okay, sorry. I think it's like within 5 years, 90% of restaurants fail. And if they don't, then that's usually like the marking point for how well, like if you can get past 5 years as a restaurant, then you're good. Luke, your blurry shit is so weird.
What do you mean?
It keeps just going in out of frame. It's like
it just like
I made my background blurry.
Yeah, but make your face blurry.
Oh, make your face blurry?
Sometimes.
Oh, well, turn it off. Hold on. Having a little technical difficulty there.
You're messing with your preferences.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? What are you trying to hide that's in your background?
I thought I was being artsy.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's kind of artsy.
Oh, where is it? Blur my background. Gone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there goes my artistic phase.
It was fun while it lasted.
All right, so
we're gonna keep this episode short today for everybody listening. Dave Lucas is finally gonna listen, hopefully, after we berated him at the bar. But yeah, we're gonna keep this episode short.
Yeah, the bar I wasn't invited to because I'm still invisible.
Luke, you live like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, and you know what? People can still text me. It's not like I live in fucking Montana.
Okay, I mean, I was working.
I would appreciate this the most from anybody. Someone said, "Hey, we're all going to Donahue's to get a drink. I know you live 1,000 years away, but if you want to meet us, maybe try." And I'd say, "Hey guys, thanks for the offer. I probably won't make it because I live in the fucking Cape, but that's nice. But I'm a ghost. It's fine. I'll just be invisible."
Luke, I was working, and these people heckled me into joining them for a drink, and then I had like 3.
Danny, your phone works both ways too. You could say, "Hey Luke, we're all down at the bar. Come have a good time," and you didn't.
I can't text during work.
No, that's bullshit.
I was working.
No, not that you were working, that you can't text during work.
I can't. I promise you.
You can't go take a shit.
Yeah, well, it's super.
Yeah. Well, what?
Siggy, you saw how busy it was. If I left that bar, my coworkers would have fucking hated me. Oh, let me go take a shit so I can text Luke that we're all hanging out an hour and a half away from him, and so he'll tell me no.
You know what? Listen, I just feel like I've become like persona non grata. Everyone acts just like I'm a ghost or I'm invisible. No one ever just acknowledges me anymore. Everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, whatever, it's okay."
You guys going to the Luke Memorial next year, or we're setting up a nice?
You should.
We're setting up a nice thing for Luke at Vic.
Anyway, don't joke about that.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, big week in sports, free agency trades, NFL craziness. Here's what I'll say to start, and then you guys can, talk. I get it's a big week, and I'm into it, and I like seeing the moves and trades, but this has been a crazy week. A lot of big players moving teams via trade, via free agency. There has been none that's like tickled my fancy or made it, move at all. Just Antonio Brown to the Raiders, cool. OBJ to the Browns, cool. Bell to the Jets, cool. Like, everyone can talk about it and this, all that. There's nothing. I mean, it's exciting, but there's nothing that I don't know. Nothing I'm really that into. I will tell you, though, my favorite signing, Tevin Coleman, San Francisco 49ers. 2 years, $10 million. That's $5 million a year.
Good maths.
What?
Quick maths.
Yeah.
Siggy said good math.
So, the reason I like that signing so much is I don't really even care about Garoppolo. I like Garoppolo. I don't think he's as good as people in Boston wanted to make him seem, but he's still good. Not even about him. It's that now Tevin Coleman will be the feature back for Kyle Shanahan, who used him really well in Atlanta. He's going to use him really well in San Fran. If Garoppolo's there, it opens up a lot of things. If Garoppolo's hurt again, it doesn't matter. They're going to give Coleman the ball a gazillion times, whether running or catching. I have him in fantasy the last 2 years. I'm getting him again this year in the first round. I had the first pick. I'm taking Tevin Coleman. He's going to have a monster season in San Fran, barring injury.
First pick?
Yeah.
Are you just putting your balls to the wall and hope it sticks kind of thing? I don't know what you're going for here. Like, what? First pick. He's not a first pick.
After this season, he'll be talked about as a top 5 pick. You watch.
Okay. All right.
In that offense, he's gonna get 20 touches a game. He's gonna get 10 carries, 10 catches. He's gonna total yards, yards from scrimmage. That's what I was looking for. He's gonna have over 150 yards from scrimmage every game, a couple touchdowns. He's going to be a monster. He's better than Devontae Freeman. They should have made him the lead back in Atlanta. They should have done more with him. They didn't. Shanahan knows how to use him. He's going to San Fran. I'm telling you, he's gonna be good. That's my favorite signing.
I don't hate the signing because I think Jerick McKinnon's a fraud. I don't like him. I don't know what it is. He doesn't like get me excited. I think he's a solid RB2. That's it. That's all he is. And so Tevin Coleman will be RB1 there, but he's not going to be like the next comic of fucking David Johnson or something. I don't know.
Did you even watch him play in Atlanta?
Saw a few games.
Oh yeah. Big Atlanta Falcon fan, guard mouse hair.
But I'm not an Atlanta Falcon. Are you an Atlanta Falcon fan?
No, but I've seen him play a bunch of times. He's better than Freeman, man. Stays healthier.
Freeman's not that good though.
He should have been the lead back. The fact that they're letting Freeman stay and let him go was stupid. I'm telling you, it's the perfect spot for him. Kyle Shanahan's offense, they're just going to run stretch play, do a little play action pass. Garoppolo's going to throw it to Coleman. Coleman might play quarterback. He might play safety. Who the fuck knows? He's going to be awesome there. You watch.
Did they really have a choice? Is Freeman under contract still?
Yeah, but they only got drafted a year apart. So they drafted Freeman 1 year, they drafted Coleman the next. Then they gave Freeman an extension, a big one after the Super Bowl they blew to the Patriots. And ever since then he's been hurt and not really that great. So.
Yeah, I don't really care for that. What I do like is this was like, at first I was kind of excited for it. Not because I'm a fan of this team, but just because it would be really fucking cool to see these guys play together. I was like, oh, Eric Berry and Tyrann Mathieu in the same team? No way. That's going to be dope. And then they released Eric Berry.
Yeah. Did that today, right?
Yeah, dude. I was so excited. I was like, damn, these guys are two like premier safeties, and they know like they're hybrids. They get everywhere. They can fly around. But no, they just released Eric Berry for some fucking reason. That was a stupid move.
Berry's old and hurt.
Yeah, but he can still get it done. I mean, think he can.
Not really.
We're going to see. Whatever team picks him up.
Did you see him in the playoffs last year?
No.
Gronkowski owned that ass.
Okay, Gronkowski will own any safety's ass. Like, there's only one person who's ever successfully covered Gronkowski one-on-one.
Don't tell me it's Cam Chancellor, because he didn't.
No. Jalen Ramsey.
Ah, yeah. Fair enough. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, really, like, you think about it, like, nobody else can stop that guy. He's just too fast for certain people and too large for certain people. There's no good combination. But I like that move. Yeah. Anyway, I like Tyrann Mathieu to that team. I think Tyrann Mathieu, like, dude, how old do you guys think Tyrann Mathieu is?
He's 26.
26.
He's 20. Okay, all right. A lot of people thought he was older. But anyway, he's 26. Like, the guy's career is still young, and people are, like, writing him off still. Like, I don't get it.
He feels like he's older.
Yeah,
but
there's something about him. He's kind of felt like he has this like journeyman vibe to him, but he's only like been in the league for like 4 years.
He was a big name in college too, wasn't he? So yeah, that's probably part of the reason.
Honey Badger.
A couple knee injuries, so that's kind of where I think a lot of the stigma comes from. Yeah, that was a good move for Kansas City. I mean,
it's not going to change anything after they threw Eric Berry out the door too.
God, Eric Berry might be your Matthew Stafford.
I like him. I think he's a great player. I think he just has good work ethic. But the thing is, what the Chiefs fucked up with, and what this is gonna be their downfall again. They're not gonna win this year because I just don't think they're that great. I just don't think they're well coached, and I think their defense is trash. But they had the worst run defense in the NFL, right? And now they go and lose two key box players. They lost Dee Ford that they're trading away for a second-round pick, and they lost Justin Houston. Who are they anymore? Like
they're pass rushers. They're not run stoppers.
Yeah, but they're guys on the line. Like those are the two best guys on the line, and they're not gonna like just. What do you think they're gonna sign run stoppers then? Like, I mean, there's not many on the
They
market.
could draft run stoppers. I agree with you. I don't think they've done anything that makes their defense better. Like, I don't look at their defense now and say, "Oh my God, it's better. They're unstoppable." No. Yeah. I think they're still the same pile of crap defense as they were back in the AFC Championship. I just think the names are now different. But I don't think in terms of stopping the run, Dee Ford and Justin Houston were that effective. They were more pass rushers. Could they get run stoppers? Sure, it's easy to find a run stopper in the draft, but we'll see how it goes.
I think that Andy Reid's master plan is he's hoping this thing in the NFL gets passed where, like, in overtime, you just have a shootout. So he just doesn't have to play defense. He'll just keep scoring touchdowns. So what he'll do, he'll just play offense to load up an offense. And then at the end of the day, they're just going to not miss a single conversion. They just score touchdowns and hope that at the end of the day they win.
His master plan is just to ride his all-world quarterback. That's it. There's no master plan. It's let Mahomes go and do what he does. And eventually, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is all-world. We saw how great he was, but if they don't manage him right and they kind of start getting stupid with him, that could smell trouble. Because people are going to take this out of context, okay? I'm not telling you next year Patrick Mahomes is going to be bad. I'm not telling you 5 years from now Patrick Mahomes is going to be bad. I'm just saying this. With the way Patrick Mahomes plays, he loses that arm strength. He's all of a sudden
he's just going to hurt his arm the way he throws.
No, yeah, I think tape's going to get out on him. Like, people are going to start to game plan around him. And I don't think if Andy Reid or like the coaching staff around him responds properly, there he goes. He's not the guy he was, throwing 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. That's mostly because he was on. People didn't really see him. They didn't know how to play against him. They still don't really know how to play against him. And I think it just takes a couple games for that to happen. Once that's kind of found out, we'll see.
But I think his physical talent is so great that even when teams do figure him out, he'll still be good and he'll be great. Even he might not throw 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards every single season, but he'll still be great. It's just when a guy like that loses his arm strength, that's when you start to see the decline. And Patrick Mahomes is a 23-year-old kid. He's not going to just...
Yeah, I was going to say, we're talking about a decline in a 23-year-old quarterback.
No, but I'm just saying, like, God forbid he has a right shoulder injury and he can't put the same zip on the ball. Like, if Patrick Mahomes is forced to stay in the pocket, run a conventional offense, and just make the right throws, that's not his strength. That's not his game. That's something where he'll get exposed. Right. Patrick Mahomes' game is stepping back there, looking around, and then bombing the ball 95 yards because you can throw it further than anybody ever.
Yeah, so and you have Tyreek Hill who can run faster than anybody ever. Exactly.
If that gets taken away from him, that's when you're going to start seeing cracks in his game. I mean, you're right. The point you're trying to make is right. There's more tape out on him now. Next year, teams will have a better, game plan, get ready for him, start him up. So when they do face him, they'll be more prepared and ready. That's 100% true.
But I still think they're going to go like 11-5. Like, they're not going to have issues.
The big drop in Kansas City will come when Mahomes loses his arm strength. That could be 15 years from now, for all we know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when he can't put the zip on the ball, that's when it's really going to...
Right.
Correct.
But that's so far in the future. Basically, long story short, Kansas City didn't improve. They got Tyrann Mathieu, which was pretty cool, but they didn't really improve. Siggy, what's your go-to signing this time?
It's been kind of tough for me to follow it just because I'm not in NFL mode. I think that's part of it too. But
that's fair.
I honestly didn't hate the Devin Funches or whatever you say his name for the Colts. I think.
Yeah.
Because they only had like limited weapons, and it opens up the rest of the field, bringing in a big guy like that. I think that will definitely help them out.
Right, and then T.Y. Hilton finally has like another receiver on the team.
Yeah, because now they were just focused all on him, but now they have another.
Did they bring back Eric Ebron? Is he still in Indy? I don't know.
Yes, Eric Ebron is still in Indy, and
Jack Doyle too.
Siggy. That's another great signing. Funches to Indianapolis. See, I like the more kind of under the radar, sneaky signings like
they're a Patriots fan.
Well, yeah, but also like what's the word I'm looking for? Like
the secondary market kind of not
secondary market.
Like the role guys, not the
role guys. That's what it is. Yeah, like you sign a role guy here and there. Like I like those signings. Tevin Coleman, Devin Funches.
You're making it seem like he's not a real guy, so.
Yeah, you said he was never down.
He's a role guy now. When Shanahan gets his hands back on him in that offense, you watch. A year from now, Danny's going to be like,
You'll see. You'll
I can't believe I lost my fantasy league and then he's going to call him TC because that's going to be his nickname.
No, listen.
Because I didn't draft TC. I didn't draft TC. Oh, my God.
He's going to draft him in like the 4th round, and then he'll tell everybody, dude, I got Tevin Coleman for a steal. These idiots let me get him in the 1st round.
I mean, first of all, he's going to be the lead back in San Francisco. He's going to go way higher. I'm getting him in the 1st or 2nd.
Who did you say you got in like the 5th round in our league, but you really got him in the 2nd?
In the 10th, I got AJ Green.
Oh, you got AJ Green in the 2nd round. There's evidence.
Because the idiots in that league, first of all, I love everyone in that league, but goddamn, the comparison of Derrick Rose to AJ Green is fucking laughable.
That was me. That was my.
That's the worst comparison I've ever heard in my entire life.
No, they're pretty comparable.
They're not comparable.
They are, dude.
Derrick Rose had 3 good seasons. He blew his knee out and he was gone. AJ Green's been a consistent All-Pro since he stepped in the league. He's never not been an All-Pro.
He's like, all right, there's no bet. I mean, that's the best comparison like I can think of then.
But it's not a good comparison.
It's the best one we got.
No, it's not.
Okay, then you think of a better NBA comparison.
Okay, someone who's been to 7 or 8 straight All-Star games.
You know what? We'll go with he'll be the Blake Griffin of the NFL.
Fine, that one actually might work a little bit better.
That one is a little bit better.
A guy who's pretty good, not great. AJ Green is pretty good, not great, and has been to a bunch of All-Star games. There you go.
Also, he's been pretty injured.
I mean, he's had a couple years where he's been injured.
Yeah, both of them.
Not all. I've had AJ Green in fantasy like every year since he's been in the league. He's never been hurt. He's been hurt a couple times. You make it seem like he's out.
The year I had him, he was out for like extended periods of time, and I was pissed. So I just think AJ Green's injury riddle. It might have been one season. I don't know, but forever.
You're just salty. You're salty because you had him.
I'm salty. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I am salty. I'm pissed. I got him like the 3rd round, and he got injured. I got Doug Baldwin. He got injured. All these people hate me, man. This is bullshit. I'm a curse.
Fine. At least you admit you're salty. Because AJ Green is not fucking Derrick Rose. That's a horrible comparison.
But speak of AJ Green, actually, by the way, I think the Pats might trade for him.
I don't know.
I can see it. They've been trying. I mean, there's been reports out that they're trying to get an elite wide receiver. Odell Beckham's off the market now. Pretty much.
We lose Dan.
Yeah, I think we're having technical difficulties. Dan's gone, so. Dan.
Only 2 remains.
Yeah, well, I have not seen any report, not to bag on Dan, well, he can't defend himself, but I haven't seen anything that the Patriots are interested in AJ Green.
I have no idea.
Dan, you back?
Hey. Yeah.
So where were you?
Damn it. I was saying pretty much every major wide receiver is off the market. That's basically all I was saying. But at the end of the day, I think AJ Green would be a great fit in New England. I think we get him. I think we can honestly trade away a 2nd and a 3rd to get him, and I think that'd be a great trade.
I don't know. I don't know what you and a lot of Patriots fans' infatuation with these big name receivers are.
It's not that they've been linked to it. I'm not like we need a wide receiver.
Can I ask? I'm not being a jerk.
Go ahead.
Where have they been linked to AJ Green? I haven't seen anything about it.
They haven't been linked to AJ Green. They've been linked to a premier wide receiver, a big name wide receiver. They've been talked about it. I mean, at first it was Odell, but I think they're going to keep fishing for a big name wide receiver, and I think AJ Green's the perfect guy to get. Cincinnati is going to probably want to rebuild at this point. They're not a good team.
Breaking news, Philip Dorsett agrees to a 1-year deal with Patriots.
Yeah, let's go.
This guy, get the fuck out of here.
I like PD13.
What? That's his name?
PD13, Philip Dorsett.
Oh, God. No.
Here, I saw a great tweet, Danny, that I'm going to tweet at you.
I just want, like, a better wide receiver. I'm not even asking for, like, a top-tier wide receiver. I just don't want to see Philip Dorsett, Chris Hogan, and Edelman again.
Yeah, they're going to get – everybody's so, like, freaked out about this wideout thing. All these fans like, oh, my God, they're never a receiver. They're going to get someone. They're going to either sign Golden Tate or they're going to draft someone like Riley Ridley.
Doesn't make me excited either. I don't know.
How does Golden Tate not make you excited?
He's good, but he didn't do anything in Philly.
Yes, he did. Did you watch the playoff game?
He had that one huge catch. I saw that. That was huge. But
the go-ahead touchdown?
Didn't he have like 5 receptions, maybe like 60 yards, 1 touchdown?
See, you're the type of fan who wants like the big blow your load stats that don't work. Like week 4, OBJ, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, blah. oh, let me sit there and my blown load. Like, come on. Golden Tate would be phenomenal for this offense. He's a guy that runs routes,
He
gets
said he
open,
wanted to come here too.
and gets the ball. That's all the Patriots need. They don't need some stupid, take a 9-step drop and hum the ball 90 yards. So
Yes, dude,
points
I missed that. I missed the Brady Moss connection. I don't even care. Honestly, we have the Super Bowls. I just want to see the stats now. I don't care anymore.
Right. If you want to see the stats, then go. I'm okay with you wanting to get someone that makes your little pee-pee move. But at this point,
in years, man, it's crazy.
I want them to get players that fit their offense. I want them to win Super Bowls. Golden Tate's that kind of guy. You can draft
Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, 95-year-old Larry Fitzgerald.
Going down the field, his walker like old man Jenkins.
Yeah.
Ooga. That'd be great. Yeah, I mean that's one guy I could see going to the Pats though. I could see it happening. I really could.
Yeah.
Trying to see who else is free agent receivers.
Well, they can still make trades. They can still draft. So, they lost Patterson, but Hogan's still out there. Golden Tate.
Yeah, I mean, us losing Patterson isn't the worst thing. It was disappointing that we lost him, but we'll make it through.
I mean, I'm not saying this guy will fix their receiving problems, but if they signed Tavon Austin, he could be that Cordero Patterson role.
Yeah,
that returns kicks and then you hand end arounds to, and does all the explosive trick plays and shit like that. I'm not saying Tavon Austin's going to change the offense. Like, you're going to get Tavon offense and all of a sudden, oh my God, they have a great receiver. He's not, but he could be the Patterson kind of guy.
I just wish we can go back in time and just give Brandon Cooks that extension. Like, I think the only reason why we traded him was because we anticipated him being able to trade for Odell Beckham, because that was the summer that they're talking about. If you look back on it, was the summer.
No, there's an official report. The reason they traded him, so this is the report, and it's not from the team official, but it's from Mike Reese, Jeff Howe, Ben Volen, Tom Curran, all the big name Patriot writers had it. Greg Bedard. Basically what happened was the Rams called the Patriots before free agency and said, we're interested in trading for Cooks. We're interested in trading for Gronk. The Patriots said back, no on Cooks, maybe on Gronk. Then free agency started, and Sammy Watkins got that huge deal from Kansas City. Like, whatever look at his contract from last year. It was ridiculous, especially
for
Sammy Watkins.
I remember that. Yeah.
The Rams called up again. Or, I'm sorry, the Patriots called back the Rams or something. They got back in contact and said, no on Gronkowski, we'll talk about Cooks. And that's how Cooks ended up in LA. Because they didn't want to pay him that money.
Right.
No.
I could see the Pats signing something like Watkins, too. I don't know what his contract's like. It
could have been tied to Beckham when they called back. They might have called back and said, yeah, you can have Cooks, give him the big deal we want. We're going to have that could have been a part. But, like, the official report, everything that I've read, was basically what I just said. They wanted Cooks, then Watkins got paid, then they were like, well, fuck it, we're not going to get him for that, so take him and we'll get a first-round pick. So
worked out. Was that the pick? Was that Malcolm Brown or was that after Malcolm Brown? That was Isaiah Wynn, right?
Isaiah Wynn, yeah. I was going to say Malcolm Brown was years ago.
That was a couple drafts ago, yeah. I mean, we'll see how that pays out. I mean, we lost Trent Brown, which doesn't really surprise me. He kind of did the classic thing where people go to New England and they play a year and they look good and they get paid and they probably won't look as good. But
I see that video today that came out on like Twitter or whatever about that.
No.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I did.
They went through like a bunch of players, like their salary when they first started here, and then signed like a year or two in the offseason and how much more money they make now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost like boot camp. Like you go to boot camp and you come out and you just get paid more. I don't know. It's crazy. There's a Patriots premium on the market,
Brown figured was gone. And like usually when the Patriots lose a guy, I'll always be the first to be like, oh, he was overrated. He sucks. Brown and Flowers weren't overrated. Brown and Flowers were both really good. But I'm also happy for them. They weren't going to get that money here. Trent Brown wasn't going to get that money for New England, and I'm happy he went and got paid. Brown. Thanks for the Super Bowl, Trent Brown. What are you?
Yeah. So I'm totally blank. That's his last name?
Trent Brown. Yeah, that's his name.
Idiot, dude. What the hell? All right, go ahead. Sorry, I'm blanking.
So he
out.
wasn't going to get paid that money here. I'm happy for him. He was a great Patriot while he was here. They won a Super Bowl. Good for him. Let him go get his money. Same thing with Trey Flowers. I love Trey Flowers. I'm real upset they didn't bring him back. Again, usually when they lose a guy like that, I'd say, oh, he was overrated. Trey Flowers wasn't overrated. He was great. I wish
He's
they kept
actually
him.
Underrated, but
Yeah, exactly. I wish they paid him. But they weren't going to give him that money. And, he was a great Patriot while he was here. They won a couple Super Bowls with him. I'm happy he went and got a big contract because the guy deserves it. So both guys I'm sad to see leave, but I'm happy for where they ended up and, the money they got.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe. Also, the thing with Anthony Barr and the Jets, that was fucking funny. Where he's just like, "I'll sign with you." Psych. See you.
He went back to the Vikings, right? Is that what it was?
Yep, he went right back to the Vikings. I'm just looking through Deshaun Jackson back to Philly. Interesting. I don't know if I like it or hate it.
That was through a trade, right?
Yeah, it was they literally just swapped 6th and 7th round picks and Deshaun. I mean,
late round picks.
Yeah. Oh, they signed Malik Jackson too. Damn.
That was a big signing. I like that.
That was. Dude, they already have a stacked D line. What do they need Malik Jackson for?
The rich get richer. I don't know.
I guess, dude. I don't even know. What do you guys think? Okay. What do you guys think of 2 trades? Obviously, we got to talk about them. The 2 biggest trades of the week. Odell Beckham and Antonio Brown. We'll start with Odell Beckham. I want to say, I think both sides made out very well in this trade. I think it was a very, very even trade, and I think they both got what they wanted out of it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I hate agreeing with you, but I agree. Yes. I think the Giants got a good haul. I mean, for what Beckham's worth, to only get a first, third, and Peppers back, I don't think was enough for the talent that Beckham gives. But I think Beckham's attitude and his annoyance and his diva-ish, and let's say for what he is, he can definitely be a headache in the locker room. So I think if you take that into consideration, I think the Giants got a decent return back. If it was just the talent, if you were talking Odell Beckham, just his plain old talent, right? We're not talking about anything else. I thought I would tell you that the Giants got screwed. But
really?
If you add in the fact that this guy's a diva and it's probably better to get him off a losing team like that, I think it evens out. So I think it's a good trade for both teams.
I think they want to rebuild too because they don't want to waste him or his talent or whatever with Eli. There's no point in that. If you get the maximum you can now, might as well do it.
I don't even think he has that much of an attitude anymore. I think what made it such a great deal for me is, if he was just his talent, this was the Giants got screwed. But what it was, I think it was a little bit of off-field stuff, a little bit of the fact that they need to rebuild, and Odell is actually keeping them in some sort of contention. And 3, he just came off a couple of years of lingering injuries. They want to get the best value for him in case that goes south. It won't go south, but there's a chance it does, and then they're just shit out of luck.
Yeah, I agree with all that, and it might not be a locker room thing, it might be off the field, but there's definitely something about that guy. If it was just the talent, the Giants got fucked, but there's something else with him, whether it's off the field, locker room, that I think balances it out. I think it was the right move for the Giants to move on for him. They're in a rebuilding process. They're not going anywhere. I mean, I know they have Barkley, but Eli's 100 years old and he's not playing well. They got to get young, more draft picks. It's a good trade for both sides, in my opinion. I agree with you. But now the pressure's on Cleveland. Cleveland went from no wins to 7 wins, and now all of a sudden they're going to be a legit Super Bowl favorite, or at least a contender. Maybe not the favorite, but a contender.
Right.
So, I mean, the pressure's on. Cleveland, they can't sneak up on anyone this year. Everyone's going to know, hey, they got the hot young quarterback. They got 2 really good receivers. They got a good backfield, a good tight end, pretty good defense. So the pressure's on them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, I mean, I honestly still think that Eric Berry's going there. I heard some things about that. I saw some tweets that he might go to
John Dorsey,
Cleveland.
the GM there, is the former GM in Kansas City.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He drafted him, so, I mean.
Yeah.
Is that what they took on Kareem Hunt, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That had something to do with it. And I don't know. They all round the Browns. I think they made some good moves. I think that they're not really thinking long term, but I think they make great moves for next year. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, they got a ton of talent next year, but I mean, the talent has to play and gel on the field and play well. I'm not saying it won't happen in Cleveland, but every year there's that team that they're the new hot young team, and then every year they crap their pants. This year is Jacksonville. Run through the list. Can name 100 that has happened to before. What was that?
Talent only takes you so far.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think they win the AFC North. Honestly, I mean that AFC North division is trash.
I will say, speaking of the AFC North, something that I really want to see happen. I really do. I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do not like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm saying that right now.
Oh, yeah, I hate them too.
But I would like them.
No, don't say it.
Not this season. I want them in someday in the future to win the Super Bowl with James Conner and Juju as the running back and receiver.
That. No.
Yeah.
No, I do no. Dude.
Why?
Fuck Big Ben. Fuck Mike Tomlin. Fuck the Steelers.
I don't want them to win next year. I'm just saying it validates everything that I stand for. That stats and stupid shit like that are overrated. They won jack squat. The Bell, Brown, and Ben era in Pittsburgh. Guess how many rings it got you? Zero. And don't give me, they ran into the Patriots. Don't give me, they blubbed. No. Their best season together, guess who they lost to? Jacksonville. They lost to Jacksonville at home. And
the next season, Jacksonville did jack shit.
Yeah.
With Blake Bortles.
You have
exactly
no excuse, Pittsburgh, for the Bell, Brown, and Ben era in Pittsburgh to come away with 0 rings. 0. They've won 0 Super Bowls.
They didn't even make a Super Bowl. They didn't even make an AFC championship.
I don't care about they made it, the one time against the Patriots.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So out of all the years, they made it once the AFC championship and lost. That's, yeah.
I don't care about who was hurt when. I don't care about how many awesome one-handed catches and 100-catch seasons Antonio Brown had. I don't care about Le'Veon Bell and his dual threat and his rap music and shit like that. I don't care. They won 0 Super Bowls. If Smith-Schuster and James Conner make it to a Super Bowl, they are already more successful than those guys were in Pittsburgh.
I agree.
So
I don't think anybody disagrees. I don't want to say I'd like to see that, but I guess I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but fuck them. It is a lot easier for me to root for James Conner, who I really like, especially with his backstory, and Juju, who I didn't like and I've come around on. He's a funny, nice off the field guy, so they're easier to root for, and it proves everything that I stand for as a football fan. If those guys go to a fucking Super Bowl,
tell him, Luke.
Yeah. Get my terrible towel ready.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so speak of the Steelers and what I said earlier, Antonio Brown trade. They got fleeced. I
guess I just needed to get, I don't know.
They had to, though. They had no bargaining room. They had absolutely none. They're lucky they got that. Honestly, they could have lowballed them even more, honestly. They got fleeced. It was disgraceful.
Yeah, but I think it's addition by subtraction.
Yeah, I guess so, but they still have that cap hit. And did you guys already hear that Antonio Brown skipped like a key meeting and showed up late?
He was late to his press conference or something.
That guy, I'm sorry, I'm sick of that guy.
Yeah, I am too.
People can bust their nut about his 100-catch season and his fantasy points and how great he is all they want. The guy's an asshole. Why? I don't listen. Money is important in these sports, especially you putting your body on the line. You want to get as much guaranteed money as possible. I get it. I understand why guys hold out. I get why Le'Veon Bell held out. I get why Earl Thomas wanted to hold. I get all that. But at some point, doesn't anybody want to win? Wouldn't
returning to the NBA. As
much as we want to rag on Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, and we want to rag on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the best situation for those guys. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to stay there. The only other situation in the NFL that's better is New England. And then maybe New Orleans, but New Orleans, can be inconsistent sometimes. That's it. Those are the 3 best situations. Maybe Green Bay was consistent for a while. You know what I'm saying? Seattle. There's a couple teams that are consistent and have winning cultures. Oakland? Really? Why?
Dude, they have a lot of draft cap. They do.
I don't know, man.
They didn't even lose a first-round pick. One of their three first-round picks to acquire one of the top 3 receivers from last year. Take his off-the-field stuff aside. I don't like what he's doing off the field, obviously. But if you're talking about talent, they kept their 3 first-round picks and they added one of the top 3 receivers in the league. That's crazy.
Yeah, but they're Oakland.
Yeah, but they're Oakland. Exactly.
Since 2002, they've had one really good season, and then their quarterback snapped his leg, and they've been trashed ever since.
R.I.P. Rich Gannon, man. Well, not really.
No, I'm talking about Derek Carr.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 2001, 2002.
No, they lost Super Bowl 2002.
Yeah.
They were trash all the way to 2016, and then they were good, and then Derek Carr snapped his leg, and they've been trash ever since. So
that same year he snapped his leg, they made the playoffs, and then the backup got hurt, so then the third string had to play too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that happened to the Cardinals too. That was pretty funny.
I don't know. That guy, he just pisses me off. He pissed me off, Antonio Brown. I don't care.
Yeah, I was behind him for a while. Now I can't put myself behind him. It's really it seems like he's living in his own fucking world, and we're all just in his world. It's.
I don't care about your 136 catch season. Ooh boy, you've never caught a touchdown from anybody besides Ben Roethlisberger. Never.
I mean, Julian Edelman's never caught a touchdown from anybody besides Brady. So Julio Jones never caught a touchdown.
In the same breath as Antonio Brown.
Julio Jones has never caught a touchdown from anybody but Matt Ryan.
Julio Jones never had the opportunity to catch a pass from someone not named Matt Ryan. Antonio Brown has.
How? He has it now.
Matt Ryan's never missed a start. So every game that Julio Jones puts on his uniform, Matt Ryan is also putting on his uniform. Ben Roethlisberger has missed plenty of starts in Antonio Brown's time there. What?
He's always in that walking boot. He's missed a lot of games, I think.
He's missed a lot of games. Landry Jones has started a ton of games for them.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Landry Jones. That's a grade A backup.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, Mike Vick played for them for, like, a game. Like, Roethlisberger's missed plenty of games.
That's true. But still, like, those guys are clowns. Like, you can't put him like that. You can't.
But it's like the chicken and the egg. If the receiver's so good, why can't the quarterback just toss it up to him?
Because he can't toss it up.
Matt Castle could toss it up to Randy Moss. That was pretty well worked well for him.
That was great. That was beautiful, actually. But anyway, I like we said, Brown trade. They got shafted, but they had to do it. I think that's everybody's take on it.
And then Le'Veon Bell, the Jets. He didn't even get the amount of money that he wanted, which was stupid. I don't know why he would want to go from a winning culture in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I'm not just that people are going to go. Not that anybody real important is listening, but people are going to take this as I think Le'Veon Bell's overrated. I do not think Le'Veon Bell's overrated. Fantastic player. I'd take him on my team 100 times out of 100. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He can rap. It's phenomenal. The guy's great. I just would never spend that much money on a running back.
No, I don't think anybody should. I mean, Todd Gurley, he's great. I would never spend that money on a running back.
Daniel Tomlinson, Ezekiel Elliott are the two best running backs I've ever watched in my entire life. Now, I didn't watch Barry Sanders or Walter Payton or those guys, so we're not getting to that debate of who's the greatest block. I'm just telling you, in my life, the two best running backs I've ever seen play the game are Daniel Tomlinson and Ezekiel Elliott. And I would not give any of those guys close to what Bell got.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's a debate for another day because we're trying to make this one shorter. But I would pay Zeke that money any day of the week.
Why?
He's a generational talent. The man has carried his offense to the playoffs.
Okay, but you can get a gazillion other running backs. It's the most disposable position in the NFL. What do you mean? James Conner stepped in for Le'Veon Bell and put up similar production.
Yeah, but dude, Zeke is something else. Like he's better than Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, I agree with you. Zeke is the one of the best running backs I've ever seen in my entire life. I still would not give him $45 million guaranteed money.
That's the difference between me and you. But we're just gonna have to leave it at that because I don't know. I would. I think he's worth it.
I don't think it's not against Zeke Elliott as a player. I love Zeke Elliott as a player. He's my favorite running back of all time. I just don't think it's about the position. You can get 1 million guys to run the ball.
You only have a roster of 53, so.
Oh my God. Must you?
Yes, absolutely. Sig, tiebreaker. This is now turned into hypothetical. Would you sign Zeke for $14 million a year for 4 years?
The only position I would give up that kind of money for, quarterback, left tackle, cornerback with
You
a C.
you would pay a left tackle $14 million a year?
If he was fucking Jonathan Ogden or someone like Joe
Okay.
Thomas,
Okay.
yeah, I would.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You need the quarterback to play. If the quarterback is getting hit every single play, he's going to fucking die.
Yeah, but Zeke can block too. Sigs, well, what's your take on this? I want to know.
I'd probably pay him.
You pay him. See, that's 2-1, Luke.
It doesn't mean you guys are right.
You got to insert a
I'm
sound
not
effect
saying
that
I'm
goes
right. But...
Yeah,
Dude, if running backs were so hard to come by, if you could only find like one or two Zekes ever, then yeah, I'd pay him. But you can find a gazillion guys that can run the ball.
Yeah, but not. That's not. That's
what do you mean? Okay, here's a great question for you. I heard this on the radio,
okay.
and it struck a chord with me.
All right, listen.
Name me the last rushing champion to win the Super Bowl. Who led the league in rushing and won the Super Bowl?
But name the last one, the last wide receiver to lead the league in yards and win the Super Bowl. Jerry Rice, probably.
I feel the same way about receivers than I do running backs.
But like that's just the. He doesn't have to be a leading rusher. I mean, he doesn't make the Super Bowl team, but his obviously his team's not winning.
Then
but
go
I would
ahead.
Still pay him that money.
Name me the last team that was real run heavy and run based that won the Super Bowl, and also that didn't have a world class defense.
Okay, because I was about to say, did you watch the game a month ago? That was a run heavy offense.
The Patriots?
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Didn't you? Dude, you were talking about how we were talking about this like 2 weeks ago. You literally said they ran it through the whole playoffs.
They were more balanced as a team. They still needed Brady to throw the ball to win all 3 games.
They needed Brady to throw the ball to win a 13-3 game.
I'm sorry. Wait a second. Can I ask you a question? On the only touchdown drive, what happened?
The GOAT did GOAT things. Okay.
Brady to Gronkowski, right. Brady to Edelman, Brady to Burkhead, Brady to Gronkowski, touchdown.
Where do you get this photographic memory from, dude? That's my problem now.
It was a 5-play drive.
How do you remember that? I don't remember that. I was too drunk.
I wasn't drinking.
Oh,
they
dude.
Went Gronkowski, Edelman, Burkhead, Gronkowski, Michelle for the touchdown. Game over.
That's it? Yeah, that's all she wrote. All right.
I'm sorry. I just don't believe in spending your limited cap space and money on running backs, on positions that you can find anywhere.
That's fair. It works better to get role guys for cheaper. But my next 2 guys, I want to wrap this up with a couple more players / teams. I want to talk about Nick Foles and the Jaguars, and I want to talk about Mark Ingram / Earl Thomas and the Saints. I mean, not the Saints, sorry. The Ravens. First, let's start with Nick Foles. And this, we'll wrap this up soon. I think we said it was going to be a short episode. It's probably not even close to being short anymore.
It's been a good talk, though.
It has been a good talk. I think we needed this free agency recap. Sig, you start out.
Nick Foles. It makes sense for that. I mean, there's not that many other options out there right now for a quarterback, unless you draft one, obviously. But I think
What's he even getting paid?
I have no idea.
I just saw it was 4 years.
What was the question?
Nick Foles contract.
Yeah, it was 4 years.
I know, but like, what's he getting paid?
A lot. The
$22 million a year.
Teams have spent a lot on free agency.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. They are spending $22 million a year on Nick Foles. They had to do it.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Sigs. They had to do it. Like, they've had that quarterback position unaddressed for too long.
I like the move for Jacksonville. I have a lot of issues with Jacksonville that I'm not going to say I told you so, but I fucking called it this season. Said it before the year. Now, we don't have any documentation on this. I didn't say it into a podcast. I didn't write it down. I moved down the Cape and no one calls me anymore, so I couldn't tell anybody. But I screamed it in my backyard a couple times. So here's my thing.
Paint drying. Talk to paint drying.
In 2017, the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship. They lost to the Patriots. The next year, they were a hot Super Bowl pick. Nobody looked at the actual stats. Everybody just said, AFC champion almost beat the Patriots. They're going to the Super Bowl. In 2017, they scored 6 defensive touchdowns. 6 defensive touchdowns. Okay? That is enough to swing 6 games. I'm not saying it swung every single game they were in, but that's a lot of fucking defensive touchdowns. You don't just do that every year. That's a fluky thing that happens once to a team once a year. You know, it doesn't happen every year. You can't just make that happen every year. You cannot score 6 defensive touchdowns. It's ridiculous. So I said, they're not going to get that same kind of production, and they're going to come crashing right back down to earth. Boom, 5-11. So now they have Nick Foles. To make this work in Jacksonville, they're going to need a coach like Doug Peterson, who knows how to make Nick Foles work the right way. If they just shove him into the Jacksonville offense and say, play, it's not going to work. Then, on top of that, they're going to need 4 or 5 defensive touchdowns again just to get back in the postseason, because I still don't think they're that good. Their defense, this phenomenal Jaguars defense, was obviously exposed last year, and they don't have the offensive firepower to make up for it. They're not that balanced. They're too defensive and run-heavy. So they are going to need a lot to make Nick Foles work. Now, Nick Foles is a player. Great. He's clutch. He's got, Big Dick Nick. Everybody loves it, whatever. I think he could be a fit there. I just think they need a coach to make it work with him, and they need defensive touchdowns. That's all.
Yeah. I think they need a wide receiver too. Marquise Lee isn't going to cut it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if their game plan is to run the ball with Nick Foles, run the ball with Fournette, play defense, and then have Foles bail him out, that's 4 wins. Congratulations. You went from 5-11 to 4-12. That's what it is. Maybe, 6 wins.
I think they go 9-7.
Fournette's got to stay healthy. Fournette never stays healthy.
That's true.
They've got to find a coach that plays to Foles' strength, not someone who's like, let's run the I formation and blah Duval. And they gotta get turnovers and score defensive touchdowns, because that's what that team was. That's what made them great.
Yeah, I don't see that happening entirely. Like I said, 9-7. But yeah, I guess Nick Foles was kind of like a necessary evil. I hope he doesn't become like the next Brock Osweiler. But,
no, he's more talented than the Brock Lobster. But,
right? They're both Super Bowl champions.
Right, but the Brock Lobster didn't really do much.
He won some playoff games for them.
No, he didn't.
He didn't win them, but he was on the winning side of them.
So then how did he win them?
He was starting while they won.
In the play? No, he wasn't.
He played the first game, I'm pretty sure.
No, he didn't. Peyton Manning came back before.
He contributed to the regular season. I'm moving the goalposts. I don't care.
He on that Broncos team when we would have won the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
John Elway likes tall quarterbacks.
Okay, and then what? Ingram and Thomas?
Ingram and Thomas, yeah, last one. This is actually a huge safety market. Like all the safeties are moving around. It's weird, but I think Earl Thomas was the best one out there. Not Eric Berry, I know. Wow, surprise. I was just talking so much about Eric Berry. No, I'm surprised. Like, I like Earl Thomas. I'm not surprised he left the Seattle Seahawks, but I am surprised he landed in Baltimore. I think maybe that's why they had let go of Eric Weddle a day or two before. Like, they knew they were going after him. I think it's an upgrade on Weddle, but not by much.
Nope. Six is gone.
Yeah, see ya. His thing must have died.
Oh.
Let's finish this up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if Sig is coming back. Sorry. This has been a very technical, difficult podcast. But, Earl Thomas is an all-world future Hall of Fame safety. I think he's great. He, did sit out last offseason because he was mad about his contract. Then he came back and broke his leg. He's had some injuries in the last couple of years. So that does make him a little risky, but he still is an all-world player. And, they gave up way too much money to get him. But at the same time, it is Earl Thomas. So, I mean, I don't like the money they gave up for him, but he is a guy that I would, maybe not that much, but I definitely pay for Earl Thomas. Like, I wouldn't try and lowball and cheap out on Earl Thomas because Earl Thomas is a stud. So, he obviously just went where they gave him the most money, which is Baltimore. Ingram, I like there. I think he's a really good feature back. I think he's been an underrated back, especially in his time in New Orleans, especially as Kamara got more and more involved. But, kind of going forward with them, their issue is going to be if Lamar Jackson can throw, not Mark Ingram or Earl Thomas, because they're going to have a good defense, and Ingram's going to run the ball well. It's can Lamar Jackson throw? But those are good signings for Baltimore. And they won the division last year, so if their quarterback learns how to fucking play.
I mean, they lost so much on defense. I don't think Baltimore. They lost C.J.
Losing
Mosley
was a tough one.
Yeah, that was rough. Siggy just joined again for like 3 seconds and left.
I didn't even see him.
I thought I heard him, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I like Mark Ingram as a signing, but I don't think Ravens do it again. I think they're closing the window again. This could be the first year since was it 1998 or something like that Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, or Terrell Suggs hasn't been on the team.
That's crazy.
Yeah. 20 years later.
They lost him to Arizona. Yeah, I mean, to me, they scream 7-9, 8-8. That's what they scream.
Yeah, I'm saying Browns win that division. I would not be surprised.
I agree with you, but I'm not going to make any picks until after the draft. When the draft, that's when I like to make it.
That's true.
So
yeah, the way too early predictions of the season. Who do you have going to the Super Bowl? You have to choose 2 teams right now.
I already told you guys, Cleveland and Detroit. I'm standing by it,
dude. You can't be serious.
Well, Cleveland looks like they could go to the Super Bowl now. And
I'll allow that pick. I'm not allowing you to choose Detroit. It's not allowed.
Detroit has a franchise quarterback. They signed Amendola. They got Trey Flowers.
Oh, they signed Amendola because he did so well in Miami.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Just choose a real team from the NFC. The Lions aren't even gonna make the playoffs.
I'm sticking to my guns. I'm picking Detroit.
All right. My way too early Super Bowl prediction. You know what? I'm gonna say Cowboys. Just because they didn't lose anybody.
You haven't come around on Detroit.
Nope. Cowboys, and because you said it yourself, the 8-8, 9-7 team that all of a sudden just has a spike next year. That's the Cowboys in the NFC.
Yeah, but the difference is those 8-8, 9-7 teams didn't have Jason Garrett.
Fuck, you're right. You're right. Oh, I forgot about Jason Garrett. He's such a fucking con. He's literally the Andy Reid of the NFC, but less successful by far, and that's saying something. All right, I'm sticking with it. I'm going Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys, and I don't even know. Cowboys, Pats.
That's too easy. It's too easy.
That's not too easy. Cowboys.
It takes real guts and determination to stick by Detroit and Cleveland. I've been sticking by in this for years. I'm staying with it. They're going. This 100-year anniversary of the NFL. They're going. Detroit and Cleveland, baby. Woo!
All right. That's it from I'm gonna give a special goodbye for Siggy. Gone too soon. It was nice doing the podcast with him, and we did this through without him. And these last 3 minutes were mostly for him. So a moment of silence for him. All right.
All right.
Been real. Bye, everybody.